Hello guys, hope you all are doing fine and preparation is going on full swing. I'm Anuj and in this video I'll share the strategy which worked for me in every other prelims. This approach is probably the only reason why I cleared 5 prelims and cleared civil services as well as IFS cutoffs. I would like to keep the discussion short, so the strategy session is divided into 2 small videos and this is the first session on my strategy. So moving on, I have given 10 mains and 5 UPSC prelims and the small topics that I'll be discussing in this video is mentioned on the slide. So how is this possible? What was my strategy to clear prelims in successive attempts? How to solve mock papers and analyze them? Do's and don'ts. How to cover current affairs? How to score as high as 71% in prelims, which I have personally did in 2016. What is the X factor for this consistency? So we'll have a short discussion in these topics. So yes, moving on. How is this possible? As I told that UPSC take only one exam for civil services as well as Indian Forest Services mains, and you need to clear both the cutoffs and get the chance to sit for 2 mains in a single prelims. So I did this for 5 times, and one thing is to mention, like the cutoff for IFS is around 15 marks more than civil services exam cutoff. Next, these are my mark sheets which has already been uploaded in websites or in groups, so you can pause the video and have a look over them. This is a small graph that I have made. One thing is, I'm showing these mark sheets so that you can have a small bit of faith on what I'm telling you, and you can follow the basic outline of my strategy and improvise over them, because it's impossible to follow a complete strategy of a different person, but it's always good to take out the positives and so that you can adopt it into your plan. So yes, the first things first, my strategy to clear prelims in every other attempt. So I was more focused on the basics during my initial attempts, which I called them as a foundation stone of preparation, which includes reading NCERTs and other basic books that are mentioned everywhere across the websites. Make synopsis from those books. So making synopsis from NCERTs or other textbook that you are reading is very important, and I personally feel that you can reduce the time of revision from days to minutes, and it's very helpful during your exam days. When your exam is just 15 days or 30 days from now, you can go back to your synopsis and revise it multiple times. It will helpful in memorizing the facts and keeping them in your mind as well. So you need to keep on adding extra information on the synopsis as well. So if you're making an e-note, then it's not a major concern, because you can always go back to your notes and make the required edits with the help of gained information from newspapers or class notes or any other source. But if you're following pen paper kind of notes, then it's always advisable to leave at least 1/3 of the page blank for future additions of information. So next, I used to revise things regularly and memorize the facts. Memorization is quintessential in UPSC preparation. You cannot just follow the concepts, make your mind understand and leave it then and there. No, it's not the way. You need to memorize the facts and spill it out in the exam. So it will be helpful in clearing prelims as well as writing good answers in mains. Nextly, I used to solve mock test. So my strategy of solving mock test was I used to solve and analyze around 400 questions of any topic before attempting a proper test in the coaching or any kind of basic test you are following. So if I detail in this part, for example, if a test is on history and it contains modern, medieval as well as ancient history, then I'll make sure that I solve 400 questions from modern, 400 from medieval, and around 400 to 500 from ancient as well, and analyze those questions before going to solving the main test. It always have helped me to broaden my knowledge base and to take smart guesses in the exam hall by eliminating the options. So next, these are some glimpses of my short notes which I've prepared. So these short notes are from GC Leong, and you can see in the first pic that I have left the left portion of the page blank for further additions, and in the second pic I have added the extra information on the left side as well. And secondly, I have used diagrams and different color pens to make it easy for myself to revise those notes. And one thing is also very sure, that if you are using diagrams in your notes, if you are making mnemonics for better memorization, it will help you a lot, because mind easily captures information in the form of pictures. So yes. Next, I took around 7 months to develop a foolproof strategy from prelims. Yes, I was doing completely prelims based preparation before the UPSC prelims, before 2-3 months of UPSC prelims, but prior to that also I was doing some kind of work in prelims as well. So personally recommending for 2023, you can start the preparation for prelims from September itself, include it in your schedule. Even if you are preparing for mains right now, do not leave out prelims for March and April. You can start doing things from now as well. So regular short notes from the classes and notebooks. Yes, if I go in detail, I would suggest, if you are taking classes, then while going back to your room or going back to your study table, make a synopsis then and there from the class notes itself. If the class notes took 3 hours to get prepared, your synopsis should take 1 hour to get prepared, and it should consist of the relevant facts, small analysis, and the diagram that you can improvise by yourself by reading the content of your class notes or notebooks. So believe me, this very basic changes in your schedule, this daily habit will eventually cut short your revision time for the class notes, and those 400 pages will get shortened to 40-50 pages notes. So you can imagine the time that you will save by revising those 40-50 pages in spite of reading 400 pages again and again. So this is the importance of this particular step. Moving on, how to solve mock papers and to analyze them. So I personally feel this is very important to solve mock papers, as well as the process how you are analyzing them. So I personally took 3 readings to solve a paper, 3 or it may go on to 4 readings. In first read, I used to go through every other questions. I only tick the confirm questions that I feel that yes, this is the only answer that I can get, and I used to fill the bubble in the OMR then and there itself. I didn't leave that question for further. So, and I marked them as C in the question paper. Secondly, in my second reading, I used to take smart guesses. Now, smart guesses includes those questions where I have successfully sorted out 2 options out of 4 in my first reading itself. So, in my second reading, I used to think more upon those questions. I used to use the information that I gained by reading all the 100 questions, because in UPSC a usual case is a question number 10 may get repeated in question number 80 or 90 in one or the other way, so that by reading every other questions in your first reading, it will help you to solve the questions that you have left in the initial part of the paper. So I take smart guesses and mark them S. Thirdly, I used to take wild guesses as well. So it is useful in those trivial questions where I personally use my gut feeling to mark the questions. So these questions, just make sure that these are not more than 4 or 5. That's it. And mark them W in the question paper itself. So there's a chart on your screen. I used to make that chart to analyze my C, S and W. And I used to focus upon C type. And if the questions, if these questions I'm committing any mistakes, then I call it a blunder, because these are the questions which I feel that I have fair amount of understanding, and I personally feel that these are sure shot questions which will help me to get those 2 marks. But then again, I'm committing some kind of mistake. So go back to that question, analyze your mistake, and add the content, the relevant content in your short notes as well. So you need to note down the mistakes, the facts and figures in a sheet. Follow the process for S and W as well. Try to increase the number of C, and to reduce down the number of incorrect question in C. So this is the basic process which you need to do for every other mock paper. and you will absolutely see the change in next 5 to 6 mock papers that you're going to solve on that particular topic, right? So next, so currently I am associated with Karma Yogi IAS, and there is it's a very small and compassionate team working for betterment of the aspirants through high quality initiatives. You can connect with Karma Yogi IAS through these ways: Telegram, YouTube, Instagram, and we are launching the website very soon. So this is the first part of the video session that I have promised, and the second part will come out soon. So please stay tuned, and the second video will try to release it very soon. Thank you.